folks. It's with great pleasure I welcome Mari Strain, the owner of Flooring Alternatives, to our studio. Good to have you here, Mari.
Thanks, Timothy.
Well, folks, as I've been telling you about my remodeling project, I finally decided I would start on the flooring. The floors in our home are, frankly, a hodgepodge of different eras. Want to rip them out. Went to 3 different stores to talk about bamboo because I like bamboo. It's light. And I got 3 different answers as to whether or not bamboo would actually stand up to my 60 pounds of ball and fluff, as I call her, beloved April. 3 different answers. Answer number 1 was yes, answer number 2 was no, and answer number 3 was maybe. So here to sort this all out and tell us about sustainable flooring, Mari, let's jump right in. How did Flooring Alternatives get started, and what is it?
About 9 years ago, I got involved with some bamboo flooring. After I graduated from architecture school, did some construction work, and was really looking for a place to bring it all together, along with my involvement with architects, designers, and planners for social responsibility. Who was taking we planned a conference for green building back in 1992 when it was really new. It was not a buzzword. Not like it is now.
Okay.
So from there, I started working with sales with that bamboo flooring, and it's kind of expanded from there to the point that now we have a showroom in Berkeley on 4th and Gilman. We have a wide range of cork, a really wide range of cork floors. Pretty good selection of bamboo, different species, different colors, different treatments, including like hand scraped, rustic, etc. And then, let's see, natural linoleum, recycled rubber, and a lot of different tree woods that are sustainable in one way or another.
So what drew you into the sustainable movement, though? What was it about that, and why flooring in particular?
Well, in general, it was about all of us involved in that conference. Here we are in an industry that you're using a lot of resources.
That's true. That's true.
And thinking about it, just also loving nature. It's how do you balance the two?
Okay.
And then flooring in particular, it's kind of followed that lead with the bamboo flooring.
Okay.
And then people started asking about cork. And then from there, what I found was that there's so much specialty knowledge to deal with just that one area that's enough for me to focus on. Kind of really the technical stuff and knowing things about different species of woods and how they perform in different environments, and what you need to know about, glues and finishes and how it's going to perform, as a floating floor or a radiant heat. There's so much to know. Just having the one specialty has really allowed us to be able to also be very broad in that specialty. For instance, we have easily 80 different styles of cork, and we work with about 8 or 9 different sources for cork, so we know the differences, pluses and minuses, and what's best for each.
Well, what does it mean, Mari, though, to say a sustainable floor? What specifically are we saying to our listeners?
There's different categories.
Okay.
One is rapidly renewable.
Okay.
And that would be like cork and bamboo. Both of those, you don't actually even kill the plant. You harvest a certain amount on a certain cycle that's beneficial to the plant. So it's more like trimming or pruning.
Yes, bamboo grows wild, from what I see, and grows rapidly.
Yeah. Other things like natural linoleum uses all natural products. It's linseed oil based. Linseed oil, wood flowers, rosins, natural pigments, and a jute backing. And there you have it. It's not petrochemical based.
I was going to say, so no chemicals and toxins. Right. Okay.
And it wears very well if it's cared for.
Okay.
And then other things with wood, there's a few different things that can make it sustainable. One is if it's reclaimed. Say we had there were some old army bases that were barracks that were dismantled, and the siding got turned into flooring. So it's reclaimed. So
there you go.
Instead of going to the landfill, it's reclaimed to a high use, or the wood chipper, or what have you. Reclaimed is one category. Salvage is another. We have one of my favorites is urban salvage eucalyptus. So there's, in the East Bay Hills, we have these eucalyptus trees that are non-natives, and they're potentially a big problem for fires, etc.
Oh yeah, remember the
so
fires.
Some of it's being taken out because it's for the good of the forest that is there. But again, instead of going to the wood chipper, it gets milled into 3-inch wide, gorgeous, really dense wood into flooring. And it's carefully dried, which is a really key part of having good flooring. But it is when people ask me what is the most eco flooring, I'm going, well, this came from about a mile away, and
Cool.
it's solving a problem with the non-native. It's kind of,
That really is a win.
gorgeous.
And it's not being imported or trucked for miles and polluting the environment there.
Yep, exactly. Then the last category for woods is the FSC certified, Forest Stewardship Council.
Okay, Forest.
Stewardship Council.
Okay, Forest Stewardship Council, and it would say that on the wood or on the package, FSC?
It would say it possibly on the package, and if it's coming from a chain of custody source, which we're actually chain of custody certified, all of the paperwork will list it. Your invoice, your packing slip, everything. And that's how it's maintained. That's what makes the FSC very strong, is that it tracks through the entire chain of custody that this wood, it really is the original wood that was taken from a FSC certified forest.
Okay.
And it's a pretty complicated system, but what it does is it makes it so that when you're buying wood, FSC wood, you're actually supporting a forest, creating income as a healthy forest.
Well, so there are many alternatives. I think we can say that. There's a wide range of, if I might say, there's a wide range of wood at flooring alternatives for the flooring.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue of cost is always one on my listeners' mind. And
Mm-hmm.
Certainly in the green industry, we've had this knock before, oh, if it's green, it's going to be twice as much. Put that to rest.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
Okay, so it is possible to have it cost comparable to something that's not green or even cheaper?
It is possible. The one sort of thing you want to be careful about is what quality are you trading off for those different prices.
Yeah, but if it's same quality, green and non-green, if I may say it that way.
It's often quite comparable. For
Okay.
instance, our pre-finished corks and bamboos run about $5 a square foot to $9 a square foot.
Okay.
If you get a pre-finished engineered oak floor, same thing. You know, if it's a good quality,
Okay.
it's going to be in that range.
Well, that's what I'm saying, listeners. Don't sacrifice quality. Don't just look at the price. Make sure you know what you want and then go for that. In general, though, one of the other areas our listeners have brought up, though, is the installation part. If they want to do it themselves or want to learn more, are there any sort of classes that you're aware of, any groups that, I guess in my own situation, the first time I see the flooring, I don't want it to be in my hallway.
Flooring is actually can be complicated to install.
Oh.
There are some that are easier, some that are more complicated. The easiest are going to be the interlocking click lock floors.
I've heard of those.
They even have the advantage of, as long as there's not a glue involved with the click lock as well, if you put it in wrong, you can back it out.
Oh, good.
And that's the easiest to learn, the easiest to install. As far as resources for do-it-yourselfers, there is the Building Education Center, and I don't know if they teach a class specifically for that, but that's what that organization's about, so I could certainly look into it. In terms of knowing how it's done, even if you aren't doing it, understanding what your installer is doing is really valuable. And that's something that definitely we can give you information about, give you a snapshot of how this occurs, what it involves. And so then as you take a look at doing it yourself or talk to installers, you'll have more understanding.
Well, again, folks, we're talking with Mari Strain from Flooring Alternatives. They're at 4th and Gilman, just below REI there. And take a look at them, flooringalternatives.com. As we wrap up the segment, Mari, final question for you. What really matters?
You know, it's something you just said a minute ago, which is don't compromise quality for green. Go ahead and take a look at what's available in green. Mm-hmm. And don't decide you should get this because it's a good thing, even if you're afraid it costs too much or it's not going to do what you need. Keep looking. There's more out there than what's that you might see online or at Home Depot. There's really a lot of choices.
And as I can see it looks like over 100 choices at least in wood floorings with you.
At least, yeah.
Again, I appreciate your time, Mari.
Well, thanks. It's good to be here.